believe we're joined now by Nic Dowd from the Washington Capitals. Dowder, good morning.
How we doing?
What's up?
Doing well, man. How are you? So, Sweet Home Alabama's playing in the background, and we have Brian Robinson on.
Good too.
It sounds great. And B-Rob from the Commanders is on with us every week, and he was considering using that as his walk-up song, but I guess he didn't want to step on your toes. But you would share. You're a sharing type of guy.
Oh God, I would be honored. I would be honored to share.
Yeah, you guys are both Alabama guys. All right, maybe we'll have to pass that on.
Are you a Commanders fan?
Oh yeah, of course. Got to be a Commanders fan. Plus, they're killing it this year.
Yeah, but were you? I'm sure. Did he mention this? I know we talked about this before. Were you a big Bama football fan?
No, so both my brothers went to Auburn, so we were a War Eagle family.
War Eagle. Yeah, can you? I have friends that do that. They do the War Eagle bit all the time. I'm sorry, I'm ignorant. I host a sports show. I don't really understand it. What's the derivation of War Eagle?
I mean, I'm sure Dowder can tell you. He's a War Eagle
guy.
Where'd
it come from?
Yeah, like what's that? Yeah, what's that come from?
Well, I'm probably going to mess this up, and there's going to be sports fans out there that are going to call in and complain. But, I'm going to preface this. I can say that we're not like a crazy diehard football family. Both my parents are from England, and my brothers just decided to go to Auburn. So then, by choice, we are now Auburn fan and not an Alabama fan. But from what I heard from my brother, what it came from, and this could be totally wrong because I haven't looked it up, was that a veteran from the Army used to go to the game, and he had had an eagle. I don't know. He brought an eagle with him or something at some point to the game, and during the kickoff, it would fly up and fly around. Again, this could be totally made up. I was young when my brother told me this. Like this could be,
That's fine.
He would get up, the eagle fly around, and then I guess it. Thank you. That was nice.
Yeah.
And then it died right at center field, and so they call it War Eagle.
Tragic. That's a tragic end for that eagle. But hey, I guess if it loves Auburn football, it wants to die at midfield, right on the logo.
It did. It did. It died doing what it loved.
That's
you gotta
true.
love that.
Hey, Dowder, before we talk about like the team and on ice, I thought it was very cool what you did when you teamed up with Charlie Lindgren with his charity. Your charity is Dowd's Crowd. His is Lindy's Lineup, where you brought some local kids out from So Kids Soar for an adaptive skate out at MedStar Iceplex. You did that a couple days ago, where these kids get a chance to come out and experience what it's like to skate if they're disabled, and some of them do it on sleds, some of them do it on chairs. And EB and I went out, I want to say this is like 10 or 11 years ago, and we tried the veterans do it on the sleds.
It was hard, man.
If they don't have use of their legs, and it was really hard. I couldn't believe how difficult it was. So talk about that event and how you helped brighten these kids' lives with this cool event you did out at MedStar.
Yeah, well, I think I'd have to start by saying I think that I think me and Chucky got more out of it than they did. I mean, we were loving it. We were all smiles, and seeing those kids with that many challenges that they face at a young age, whether it be disabilities or sensory issues or autism, any type of thing that they're going through, and then they get on the ice and they're having the time of their life, and it was amazing to see. But yeah, it was great. I mean, Chucky and I teamed up. Obviously, he has his foundation, Lindy's Lineup. I have Dowd's Crowd. They're kind of, they do different things, but they're in the same vein with helping children that have some sort of disability, or in my case, a sensory need or autism, enjoy hockey, whether or not that be come to a game or in this case, come and learn to skate a little bit and get on the ice maybe for the first time. So it was great. We actually did it yesterday. It went for about a little bit over an hour. We had 60 families. So it was awesome. I mean, we spent the whole time on the ice with these kids hanging out, pushing kids around, signing autographs, and the kids were awesome. I mean, they sometimes, for some of them, it was like their 6th or 7th time getting on the ice. For others, it was their first. And it was an incredible experience. I mean, I think we got more out of it than what we tried to put into it, just because, these kids are just so grateful to be there. So
that's awesome. Very cool. So getting to the team now, how inspiring is it for you and your teammates when you see Ovi, who broke a bone in his leg like 2.5 weeks ago, that he's already out skating around, he's not in team drills or in practices yet, but he's got his skates on. He's skating around the ice in a warm-up suit. And you guys must be feeling like, hey, he's not coming back like for this road trip, but it can't be that far off that he's going to be back on the ice with us.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's obviously really encouraging to see any guy come back from injury a little bit earlier than what, you might anticipate. Ovi's an animal, so I mean, it doesn't surprise me one bit that he's already back trending in that direction and he's already touching the ice. I mean, so yeah, it's great. It's big for our team. I think obviously O's our captain. He was on a bit of a tear before he got injured. So to have him back is a big, emotional boost for the team. And then also it's great for our lineup, right? Great for scoring. And then you got to have your captain back in the lineup, right? That's always a huge help. So
give us a little insight into Ovi. Nothing too personal, but is he because he's incredible at hockey. He's an absolute machine. What else is he great at? Is he great at anything else? He doesn't strike me as a gamer. I've seen him play golf. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sure he could booze.
I think he's pretty good at the pregame,
the soccer,
the
juggling
juggle line or circle, whatever it is.
He's good at he's actually really good at soccer. Yeah, that's probably. I mean, he's an animal, so he's good at a lot of things. I can't say that enough, but I definitely say really, really, really good at soccer. Does he bend the rules a little bit? Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's okay. He's probably earned that right, being that this is his 20th year in the National.
Right. He doesn't play video games though, right? He doesn't strike me as a video game guy.
I don't know. I don't think he plays too much. I know that they got into Call of Duty. Some guys got into Call of Duty a little bit.
Yeah.
This was back in COVID when we couldn't see each other. So,
right.
But I haven't heard much about that lately. But yeah, I'd probably say, sports in general, he's, I think if you ask him, I'm pretty sure he's got a hole in one. So can't be that.
He does?
No, if you ask him, he'd tell you.
Oh, he'd tell you. What about tennis? Have you ever seen it? Or you guys play pickleball in your just goofing around?
I played pickleball in the summer. I absolutely love it. But I've never seen. I think I was pretty good at tennis too, actually.
Hey, are you like a finesse guy when it comes to pickleball? Or are you like a banger? Are you just ripping the ball?
I started out as a banger, right? I think everyone does. You just go back and forth.
Sure.
And then I started realizing that, once you start playing better guys, they start putting balls in locations where you're like, how the did I not get that?
Right.
And then, so I kind of tried to translate my game a little bit, but as I am on the ice, kind of just got to stick to grinding sometimes.
Gotcha.
Right. Speaking of on the ice, last game you scored your 7th goal of the season. Unfortunately, the game didn't end the way you guys wanted. How do you feel how you guys are playing as a team right now?
Well, I think as a team overall, when you look at the season,
guys are awesome.
I think we're playing really well. I think we're accomplishing a lot of stuff that we want to do within the game, and then within the last 24, 25 games, I think so too. But last game was not our best. I think we left a lot to be desired. I think that game, despite not playing well in the first or the second, that game was still very much in reach for us to win. And I just think we didn't perform well enough to win that hockey game. We haven't dug into it yet. Yesterday was a bit of a mixed optional practice. I'm sure we'll get into it today a little bit, straighten some things out. But the good thing is that I think we all know exactly why we lost that game. Every now and then you're going to get beat by good hockey teams, regardless of how well you play. And San Jose played well enough to win that hockey game, no question.
Right.
And I just think that we got away from our identity that we had been playing with and that we've created over these last 25 games. We just got away from that. And, generally when that happens, you're not going to like the outcome. So,
Dowder, is it like a natural, just human element for a professional athlete to get more pumped up for the really good teams and just kind of take the bad teams for granted? Or am I on another planet?
No, you're not on another planet, but I'm not going to sit here and say the San Jose Sharks are a bad team. I think that, are they rebuilding? Yeah. Are there other teams rebuilding? For sure. But hockey, there's more parity in hockey, I think, than any sport. I think that any team on any given night could beat anybody. And I think that, you definitely get, is it different playing a Pittsburgh Penguins on a Friday night as opposed to playing like an LA, Kings or the Dallas Stars or San Jose Sharks, a team. I'm talking referencing teams that are out west that you don't see all the time.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think so. But speaking of that's why we are professional athletes, the best at our trade and mature. We have a mature veteran group because we understand that. Yeah, this might be a Tuesday night versus a Western Conference team that we don't see often. But even more so, that's when you got to buckle down and be mature about it and play well and win that hockey game. So,
Dowder, tell us about the challenges of back-to-back roadies, which you have this Friday and Saturday. You take on Toronto Friday, the Canadiens Saturday. But then after that, you get 4 days off. Like, there aren't that many spots in the schedule where you guys get 4 days off to get rest and recuperate until your next game. So, back-to-backers and then a little bit of rest heading into the Columbus road date next Thursday.
Yeah, I think we weren't thrilled with our outcome versus Toronto last time we played them. I think we were up 2-3-1 at one point. I think we ended up losing that. We definitely ended up losing that game. So I think that's something to remember for us. I mean, this is a really high level hockey team. They were also missing some of their top players at that time when we played them. But this is going to be, this will be a tough road trip. I think it's always important to try and get off to a great start on the opening game of back-to-back. Especially going into Montreal, that's always a big game, regardless of where either team sits in the standings. They're going to be a tough team to play in their building. They always are. But yeah, it just feels like we've been playing back-to-backs all year, to be honest. So I think at this point we're just, I think that's just the normal.
I'm curious about something you mentioned before. You mentioned the optional skate, the optional practice. Is there ever a time where you show up and it's like just two guys there? Like, how does that work?
Well, everyone shows up, so it's never. So
everybody has to show up.
It's like, yeah, right. It's never one of those things where you like show up and it's like, yeah, I decided to come in today because it was optional, like that. That's how it works. Mainly is you get notified that it's optional. You get notified that it's optional, and you got to come into the rink and you have the opportunity to skate, and you have the opportunity to take the option and get some treatment, roll out.
Gotcha.
Stretch, do whatever you need to. And it's basically, any coach the old saying is, get what you need, and then get out of here. So some guys skate, some guys feel that, I need to get out there and touch the ice. I need to touch the puck. I need to, work on my game a little bit, whatever. Some guys think, well, absolutely not. Like, I got to save my legs and I don't need to skate today. So.
Well, Dowder, best of luck on that Canadian double dip, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.